Did gladiators really do battle with exotic animals, or is that historical fiction? While lots of animals were part of the spectacle at the Colosseum, how they were used has definitely been embellished over time. Romans loved their blood sport. Talk of the ancient Colosseum tends to conjure images of armored combatants wielding exotic weapons and facing off against each other in a hot dirt circle with a raving crowd surrounding them. That's not too far off the mark, but while one-on-one fighting definitely took place, the Colosseum also showcased larger, grander, more absurd spectacles. Namely, battles against all sorts of animals shipped from all around the world, including, yes, rhinoceroses. Organizers even staged full-on naval battles, filling the Colosseum with water and using actual boats. Sharks were brought in too, but not to fight. Director Ridley Scott's Gladiator movies portray these basic facts and do a good job showcasing the enormity of such events, sometimes with historical accuracy, sometimes with a good helping of embellishment.
This is what they believe in. Power.
For instance, animal fights were an entire separate category of Colosseum games. They weren't gladiatorial fights. Such venations, the official term, featured unarmored hunters facing off against animals, and they did so in crafted environments meant to resemble natural habitats. Naumachie, or naval battles, involved waterproofing the Colosseum's base and often involved recreations of historical clashes. Neither game was common, and they involved an enormous level of organization. To put it another way, Roman Colosseum animal fights weren't some willy-nilly event. Colosseum.info explains that by the 4th century CE, only 10 out of 176 game days at the Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater, featured animals. That's because they had to be sourced, shipped, kept alive, caged, and eventually let loose into a crafted set that resembled a natural environment. Venations might not have been too common, but when they did happen, they often featured ridiculous population-depleting levels of animal deaths. When Emperor Titus opened the Colosseum in 80 CE, he celebrated with 100 straight days of games that wound up killing thousands of animals. The highest reported number is around 9,000, the lowest 5,000. Later on, Emperor Trajan topped Titus with a reported 11,000 animals dead over 123 straight days of games. This includes practically any large or uncommon mammal you can think of: lions, crocodiles, elephants, monkeys, cheetahs, bears all the way from Britain, and even rhinos. They didn't ride the rhinos, though.
The beast hunts were much more than just fighting animals. It was a way to demonstrate Roman control over the entire world.
As we mentioned, one big thing Gladiator 2 exaggerates is who was involved in the animal hunts. Hunters and Venetians were not gladiators. They were called venators, who, like bullfighters, demonstrated agility and technique more than anything else. If you're wondering how people from nearly 2,000 years ago were able to stage naval battles, well, it wasn't easy. This is particularly true when it comes to making the Colosseum watertight and deep enough to float actual boats, as well as drain properly. Naumachie were given up within the Flavian Amphitheater's first couple of years, but they continued in natural environments like the Fucine Lake, a man-made lake created on the order of Emperor Claudius in 52 CE. The battle recreation there featured 100 ships. Sometimes such games used actual sailors to recreate a choreographed series of events, especially those of historical battles like the Greco-Persian Battle of Salamis from 480 BCE. On other occasions, they were real fights between criminals. To reiterate another point, there's no record of game participants fighting sharks. History, however, does say that such naval battles indeed saw the creatures released into the water to make things more exciting, although we're not quite sure how realistic it is for them to get so close to battling ships as they do in the Gladiator 2 trailer.